Just let me check for a more minute. Hi guys. So I hope that you guys, whoever is watching right now, will see. Let me check quickly check for a second. Okay. So I do believe that we are live, and I can also share screen through this. So this is very awesome. So uh, let me give you some background regarding myself. My name is Ayush. The main motive to start this live stream was so that I can revise, and through the revision also I can help you guys to learn some kind of knowledge which I have learned up until now, right? So let's start. I hope the audio is clear. So AVFM, Advanced Valuation and Financial Modeling. So before we start, I just want to let you guys know that this is my first ever live stream, and this was not scheduled, not planned. I just started it. Why? Because I had a good feeling that I should start doing something so that I can record myself, and on top of that, so that I can explain things to other guys, through which I will be able to improve my communication. Also, I can deliver some kind of free knowledge which might be helpful to someone out there. Okay, so uh, valuation, right? Startup valuation की हमने बात करें. This will be an English live stream. I will try my best to deliver in English most probably, but sometimes the Hindi also comes out. So I hope you guys can bear with me. Okay, so okay, so I would like to start from the very basic of advanced valuation financial modeling, why I'm trying to do this and what is my main purpose, right? So if you guys are here, you must be into some sort of financial field or financial domain. Okay. And on top of that, you guys might be having a clue regarding this certain topic. So as you all know, that financial modeling is not only about Excel, right? हम सब जानते हैं कि if we talk about finance, हमारे मन में एक चीज आती है कि one should be proficient, काफी अच्छा होना चाहिए उसको Excel में, in order to excel में होना चाहिए in order to excel in finance. But that is not the case. So currently I am learning from the valuation school. Okay. So the main thing which Sir Parth Verma sir has taught us is that, yeah, as you all know, today is a day and age of AI. AI is, especially if we talk about finance domain, AI is AI will be taking a lot of work from us, especially the bottom feeders, for example, if we talk about Excel only, right? It is really easy now to make the financial reports, to make the equity research reports, in fact, uh, from the scratch within half an hour, if you make it very neatly and organized and whatnot up to the standards, right? And half an hour is a short. Mm, it can make things within 15 to 20 minutes only. So now the question arises कि अगर AI सब कुछ ये कर पा रहा है तो हमारा क्या रोल है? What are we supposed to do in this ever changing fast paced world, जहाँ पे अब थोड़ा बहुत हम सभी को डर लगने लग गया है. वन ऑप्शन इज गो फॉर एन एमबीए कर ली, उसके बाद एक अगर हायर पोजीशन पे आप पहुंच जाते हैं, देन वी माइट बी सेफ एंड सिक्योर, राइट? दैट माइट बी द केस. ऑब्वियसली आई एम नॉट एट द पोजीशन कि मैं इस चीज पे कुछ कमेंट कर पाऊँ. बट अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, अगर हम बात करें नॉट जस्ट अबाउट द बॉटम, जो भी बॉटम पे अभी स्टार्ट किया जिन लोगों ने, बट इवन एट द मिडिल। तो हम लोग क्या कर सकते हैं? इफ फॉर एग्जांपल मैं एक स्टूडेंट हूँ, मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ? व्हाट कैन आई डू टू स्टैंड आउट देयर? सी, यहाँ पे आपकी इंटर कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स, इंटरपर्सनल स्किल्स, कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स, पर्सनैलिटी, these are the three things which is going to matter a lot from now. क्योंकि at the end of the day, if you're facing a client, you need to explain. See, he's putting up your money, right? वो पैसा लगा रहा है, वो पैसा आप पे, आपके ऊपर भरोसा करके लगा रहा है, राइट? ही इज नॉट बिलीविंग ऑन सम एआई और अदर थिंग। सो इससे पहले लेट मी गिव यू सम मोर एग्जांपल्स, ताकि ये जो चीज मैंने अभी बोली है इसका एक कॉन्टेक्स्ट आ जाए, राइट? सो फॉर एग्जांपल, if I talk about myself, right, I can for example invest 5 lakhs, ज्यादा से ज्यादा 10 लाख अगर मैं अपनी बात करूँ तो दैट इज माई कैपेसिटी, दैट इज द कैपेसिटी ऑफ एनी मिडिल क्लास, अपर मिडिल क्लास, लोअर क्लास, और इन लोगों का, एंड दैट इज इंडिया। ज्यादातर लोग मिडिल क्लास में ही आते हैं, मिडिल क्लास और पुअर। बट द थिंग इज, सपोज करो 50,000 अगर आप ऑप्शन एंड फ्यूचर्स में लगाते हो कि 50,000 से 5 लाख बनाओ, राइट? सो इट इज अ वेरी इजी थिंग दैट वी एक्सपेक्ट कि यार, आई एटलीस्ट एक्सपेक्ट 100% or 50% रिटर्न। बट नाउ थिंक कि अगर आपके पास, इफ यू गाइस हैव 1,000 करोड़, 2,000 करोड़, बोलने में ही मुंह पगलाता है, बोलने में ही थोड़ा स्टटरिंग होती है। सो इफ यू टॉक अबाउट दैट काइंड ऑफ मनी, will you be able to take such kind of risk? कि नहीं यार, मुझे तो 50 नहीं यार, even the investors they expect a very minimal return of 5 to 10%, and that is also an option कि भैया 5 से 10% हमें चाहिए चाहिए। 5% is a very big return if you think in 1,000 crores terms, right? 1,000 करोड़ की 5% कितना होता है? इट्स 50 करोड़, राइट? एंड इट इज नॉट अ वेरी स्मॉल सम इफ यू थिंक अबाउट इट। सो 50 से 100 करोड़ अगर आप कमा रहे हो, तो यू कैन नॉट प्ले ऑप्शंस इन फ्यूचर्स, राइट? तो ये, दिस इज व्हाट sir was talking about, the mindset. He, you should always keep the mindset of someone who already has 1,000 crores, और फिर तुम देखो किसी भी चीज को तुम सोचो तो उस नजरिए सोचो, फ्रॉम दैट पर्सपेक्टिव यू शुड थिंक ऑफ एनीथिंग। if you talk about the finance domain, ओके, तो अब अगर एक, एंड ऑल्सो सर सेड की, sir said a very interesting thing, and which is also true, which I realized today only. आज ही मैंने realize करी ये चीज, because I am actively doing FNO, and I sometimes uh, मेरा जो base capital होता है, sometimes it gets wiped out, sometimes it gets doubled, tripled, it happens. So he says कि यार, you cannot, you can never earn money through investing from your own money. You should always play smart and use other people money to earn your money. Now what does that mean? It means commission. Commission is a very big thing. See, इसमें आपको रिस्क नहीं है ना, जो पैसा लग रहा है, the money is of the client, right? क्लाइंट का पैसा, एंड जो उसमें अगर आप मनी बना के लेते हो तो उसमें कमीशन आपको मिलेगा। बट लॉस होता है तो दैट लॉस इज नॉट योर लॉस, यू आर नॉट लूजिंग even a single penny. Yes, you might be losing customer, but that is a very different case if you have made some kind of blunder. Apart from that, it is very difficult for a person to lose because you're not putting your own money, right? So this is what I was talking about. Ki, um, if you're thinking about going into finance field, or I'm telling you, I am, if I talk about currently, I'm at the very bottom of it. Not the bottom, but yeah, bottom feeders में ही हूँ मैं. And I'm not very much experienced in this term, but still, last 2.5 years से I am in this field. I have two certification of NISM level 15 and level 7, going for CFA level 1 this year in November. Okay, and of course, I'm learning about advanced valuation and financial modeling, which I will be start uh, publishing different financial model and valuation reports of different companies, starting from Supreme Industries. And if you're wondering why Supreme Industries, what is Supreme Industries? Supreme Industries is the plastic petrochemical plastic producing company. And my main reason to study this company, this industry, and this sector, the plastic sector overall, was because plastic is everywhere in our daily lives, especially if we talk about India, right? We cannot think of a life where we don't use plastic every day. So I wanted to, and of course, this is a little bit scientific if you go into the depths of how the raw material manufacturing happens. So this is a not a very easy thing to do, right? I wanted to challenge myself, and that is why in tomorrow's live stream, we all together will research on Supreme Industries and their competition. We will go through con calls by con calls, and that's how we'll proceed. Okay, so I will be making my evaluation report from the scratch from live. So, okay, so um, a lot of deviation has happened up until this point. If you talk about valuation and financial modeling perspective from that perspective. But okay, so let's return to the topic. So, uh, this whole fiasco, this whole scenario of valuation, right? The shares, why does it happen basically? What I mean is, कि हम एक company होती है, okay, it shows profit, it shows loss, and that should determine a company's worth, right? It is that simple. But that is not the case. There are so many companies. If you look back 3 to 5 years since the aftermath of COVID, that the Indian market boomed, the valuation skyrocketed. Even though the companies did not produce as such results, the companies 10x, 20x from what they were during COVID. And why did that happen? The thing is perception. It's all about perception. Perception plus intrinsic value is equal to market value of a stock of, or of a company. The perception of whom? The perception of the public, the perception of shareholders. And I'm not, and even in the shareholders, I'm talking about those shareholders who do not have specific emotional investment in that stock, right? For example, even for example, I'm the promoter of the company, okay, or I'm the founder of the company. I would not count them as a shareholders. Shareholders are specifically, if I talk about shareholders, I will talk about it in the future when I reach on that particular topic and जब मैं process के notes होंगे, अभी मैं ढूंढने पड़ेंगे, it will take time. So let's not waste our time on there. Just a second. Right. So perception is the main thing. Perception के बिना perception plus demand and supply is what makes हमारा valuation का game, right? Now, if we talk about specifically about DCF, valuation, stock market, always remember, it's not about profit, it's not about growth, it's not about anything, it's about cash. Cash is king. How much, even if you generate 100% profit, if you generate, sorry, it's about profits. My bad. So it's not about revenue, it's not about growth, it's not about anything else, it's about profit. How much profit are you able to generate at the end of the day, right? It's always about, and even in profit, the cash part. See, profits can be divided between dividend, which means I'm reinvesting in my company, and dividend and the reinvestment. Right, reinvestment is, for example, a part of profit which I'm reinvesting into the company. Right, and the cash which I'm able to take out, which I'm able to distribute to my shareholders. That is the main thing that matters. Right. So at the end of the day, if we talk about DCF, there are only three things which matter. That is cash flow, that is growth, and that is risk. These are the only three components on which DCF module is based. यही तीन चीजें हैं जिसमें हमारा बैक हो गया, बैक को हम रिस्क कहते हैं. If you guys if you guys can understand, बैक को ही हम रिस्क कहते हैं, राइट. वेटेड एवरेज कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल इज द रिस्क. आगे चल के इस पे भी हम बात करेंगे ना, in a very detailed manner. This is today's, as I told you guys, this was not scheduled or scripted. I just started doing live stream that okay देखा जाएगा. Okay, so valuation, always keep that in mind that valuation is not a spot thing. For example, a stock price is currently trading on that spot price. No, valuation is a bracket. It is a range always. For example, Geo is valued between $130 million to $180 billion. That is a range, and valuation is always mentioned in a range. Okay, so after which there are multiple types of कि कह सकते हैं, there are multiple types of valuation, startup valuation होंगे, which I am very interested in. Why? Because I do believe that this is only the beginning on the startup ecosystem of India also. Shark Tank आ चुका है, that is definitely there, but still we are, see, we are still very heavily focusing on FMCG sector, right? Consumables, जिसमें हमें quick cash generate होता है, and we are not focusing on the manufacturing part. Nobody wants to invest a lot of money. And if you talk about capital intensive industries, right, जो आपका revenue आता है, जो आपकी return आता है, it only comes after a certain period of time, right? And that needs patience, both from the perspective of founder and the perspective of the investors. और इंडिया में अगर आप देखो शार्क टैंक की अगर मैं बात करूँ, you might, if you see very carefully, FMCG काफी सारी brand आती है. And now I'm not only talking about the food. FMCG also includes clothing, right? And other things of these kind of types. Clothing हो गया, खाने का हो गया, ये बिस्तर बिस्तर, जितना भी कंज्यूमेबल चीजें हो जाए तो बहुत जल्दी कंज्यूम हो सकती हैं. Those are the type of things which are coming on the Shark Tank. Okay, and if you also see कि ये brands जल्दी सक्सेसफुल भी हुई. Why? Because काफी जल्दी they were able to turn their products into, they were able to uh, supply their products in the market as soon as Shark Tank happened. Aired, my fault. As soon as the Shark Tank aired. Okay, so after that, there are three kind of methods, right? First is income method, second is market method, and third is asset based method. If we talk about the income method, right? Okay, so income method is the method in which we talk about the DCF valuation through DCF, and there's also the Gordon growth model, which we calculate after the company has hit their terminal year, which means the company is going for a long time and now it is generating very stable returns, right? And if we talk about stable returns, which means the growth is zero, right? Growth as in this year 4% again, 4% again, 4%. The growth can be similar or it can be zero. That okay, last year भी हमने 100 करोड़ कमाए थे, इस साल हम 100 करोड़ कमाए. So you cannot say कि भैया कंपनी ने ग्रोथ करी, राइट. ग्रोथ होती है जब 100 से 200 पे पहुंच जाते हैं नेक्स्ट ईयर. सो दैट इज गॉर्डन और डिविडेंड डिस्काउंट मॉडल, जिस पे हम फिर हम डिविडेंड पे देखते हैं कि थ्रू विच वी कैलकुलेट इन गॉर्डन ग्रोथ. यहाँ पे हम कंपनी के फंडामेंटल्स प्लस मैट्रिक्स जैसे हमारे पी रेशियो हो गए, पैग रेशियो हो गए, एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट डेट टू इक्विटी रेशियो, दिस इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रेशियो. इन सब के ऊपर हम काम करते हैं. इफ वी टॉक अबाउट मार्केटिंग मेथड, यहाँ पे दो चीज आती है. दैट फर्स्ट इज रिलेटिव प्राइसिंग विच मीन्स हम एक कंपनी को दूसरी कंपनी से कंपेयर करते हैं फॉर एग्जाम्पल आरसीबी बिकी इतने में, राइट? सो राजस्थान भी इसके आसपास ही बिकनी चाहिए। व्हाई? बिकॉज बोथ आर आईपीएल टीम्स, both play in a similar league. So if RCB is being sold at 1.5 billion dollars, Rajasthan should get the valuation around it only, because RCB first of Virat Kohli है, which is a MVP. So we cannot expect कि इतने में बिकेगी, but उसके around ही होनी चाहिए. So that is marketing method, and relative transition approach is something that I will discuss in the future. Okay. So then इट्स एसेट बेस्ड। यहाँ पे हम क्या करते हैं, जब कंपनी बैंकरप्ट हो जाती है, लिक्विडेशन की तरफ होती है, दैट इज व्हेन वी गो फॉर द एसेट प्राइस, कि भाई कितने एसेट्स हैं, एंड बेस्ड ऑन दैट वी कैलकुलेट द वैल्यूएशन ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर कंपनी। जैसे कहते हैं ना, मैयत में आए, मैयत में गिनते हैं कि भैया कितना हुआ है। सो दैट इज व्हाट happens in this kind of method. Okay. So one more thing to which I guess I need to specify is that you, me, everybody needs to flow like a river. What does that mean? When the river is flowing, right, it adapts. It adapts very quickly, right? If you can see here, if there's a rock in its path or some kind of hindrance, it adapts to it. It does not stop. The river does not stop, even if even if there is a landslide or the path is completely blocked. It makes its way around it, but it never stops. And that is the same kind of mindset or mentality which we need to carry when we are doing our valuation. That there will be a lot of times when we will not be having any kind of information in our hands, but we need to flow like a river. We need to adapt. We need to go, okay, if I don't have X, then I will take Y. And of course, it should be relevant to the case, from case to case, but I hope you're getting my point. Valuation again, three things are the most important. These, that is risk, cash flow, and growth. Okay, there are um, okay. So अगर मैं अपनी बात करूँ on a very personal level, so what I want to do is wealth management, specifically middle class की wealth management. Now, uh, something which I personally feel, and I'm trying to live through this philosophy also, कि यार वेल्थ मैनेजमेंट स्पेसिफिकली, या फिर जब आप किसी सेल्स रोल में होते हो ना, यू शुड ऑलवेज ट्राई कि आप ना अपने कस्टमर को बेनिफिट कर रहे हो। यू शुड नेवर गो फॉर कि अच्छा मैं कमीशन मुझे इस प्रोडक्ट में मिलेगा तो मैं आई शुड रिकमेंड दिस, विच एज यू ऑल गाइस नो कि काफी होता है स्पेशली इस इंडस्ट्री में। यहाँ पे हर एक आईपीओ पे इतनी रीलें बनती हैं, इतने लोग रिकमेंड करते हैं कि सर आप आईपीओ, या फिर एक एसआईपी होती है तो एसआईपी में एक पर्टिकुलर कंपनी के हम म्यूचुअल फंड को पुश करते हैं कि आप इस पे लो। मैं नाम लूंगा ऑब्वियसली, बट आई होप यू गाइस अंडरस्टैंड माय पॉइंट। सो यार, अगर आप ऑनेस्टी के साथ करोगे तो दैट इज व्हेन यू नो growth will happen. Automatically growth will happen, but that will only happen when you are trying to profit your customers, right? कि जब आप चाहते हो कि यार जो मेरे साथ जुड़ा है मैं उसका फायदा ही करूँ, that is only when you will succeed. And yeah, maybe it's BS. Maybe you guys have different opinion, or maybe you have a different experience, and that is okay, because सबके अपने एक्सपीरियंस होते हैं, सबकी अपनी फिलोसफी होती है, आई बिलीव। बट आई डू होप कि थोड़ा बहुत आज आपने सीखा होगा। 25 मिनट्स की छोटी सी लाइव स्ट्रीम थी। दिस वॉज ओनली a trial live stream, and I will फ्रॉम टुमारो ऑनवर्ड्स मैं काफी स्ट्रक्चर्ड रखने की कोशिश करूंगा।